folks, we're getting ready to get a lot of rain, and I told you I'd come live whenever we're getting ready to receive some torrential downpour. So right now we're about 92.5%. I went ahead and opened up the flush valve so we could drain some water out of the main tank so we can see the system work here. Let me go ahead and turn that off. We're going to shut the valves off so we can watch this thing switch over. So right now we're about 27% full in the catch tank. We've got 92% in the interior tanks. We're under tornado watch, so I think we're going to get some pretty good rain here. Let me go ahead and just clean this off. Now we can see a little bit better. Sorry about that. So we're running at 29% in the catch tank, 92%. Pump's just running at a slow speed. Let's see what we got coming in on the catch tank here. That's what we got coming in. Getting pretty good outside. It's going to get better. That's coming from the west side. That right there is coming from the east side of the house. The west side has a little bit more work on it because of the water in. Alright, here we come. It's starting to come in. I don't know if you can hear it on the roof. So right now we're about 40% full. 40% full, 92 here. So we're just pushing water in fairly slow to the catch tanks, to the interior storage tanks. Once this gets to about 95%, then we'll switch over to the exterior tanks there. So it's going to go pretty quick here. So right now we're 46%. When this hits 50%, you'll see the computer switch over, and now we're starting to push a lot of water here. Let's see if we can move over to the tank here. Pushing quite a bit of water. Nice and cold. It won't take long to fill it up at that rate. see what it's doing on the catch tank come in. Oh yeah. So this is a mild rain. At least we got more than a drizzle from this morning. I told you I'd come live. So that's just an average rainfall. Hopefully it'll do a torrential downpour here pretty soon. You'll really see that come in on a solid 4-inch stream. Water's life, folks. Can't live without it. So it's still running quite nicely. 92.71% here. Still 47%. So this system's working absolutely flawless right now. So if we can get enough rain in to keep this right around 50%, we're pushing water out at maximum speed. This will fill up, valve will change, and then we'll start filling up the exterior tank here. So that's exactly what's supposed to happen. That's just staying at 47%, so we're taking out as much as coming in. So that's staying pretty solid. Exactly where we want it to be. Looks like we got 1.05 inches of rain so far today. Let me see if I can refresh this. That's over here, the water stat. Let me get this where I want it here. So we're 93.58. It's got a nice, steady, reasonable rain, nothing hard. This little icon here showing me that the pump's running and that we're moving water from the catch tank over to a storage tank. Yep. Come on, rain. Pump's on high. It's just running. You can see here that the water's coming in and going that way. When this changes, it'll change, the water goes this way. Running a little bit of pressure on the pump. It's not too awful bad. .27. As soon as it hits 95, I believe it'll switch over. Once it switches over, we'll be pushing water out to the exterior tanks, the two 18,000 gallon tanks out there. So that's going to happen here in just a minute. We're about a 0.5% away. The rain's starting to pick up. I don't know if you can hear it over the pump, but it's starting to rain pretty good here. $94.75. $95. I believe you'll see that light go off, and when that light goes off, this valve will switch. Now we're pushing water in and out that way to the exterior tanks. So my interior tanks are 95% full, exactly where they're supposed to be. And now we're moving water out to this tank here. You'll see it fill up. Well, we got 15,878 gallons. I would imagine if we get 4 or 5 inches of rain tonight, that'd be somewhere in the 30,000 gallon range. I'd have to do the calculations, but 3,900 gallons an inch, so just figure 4,000 times 5 would be 20,000 gallons, so I'd be 36,000. That'd be full. If we get 5 inches of rain, we'll fill the exterior tanks up. So that's how it's running. It's just going to sit here and do this all night long until the tanks fill up. And then once the tanks fill up, then the system will shut down. Everything will go into bypass, and everything comes off the roof will go out into the pond. Okay, now we're starting to see the rain come down. It's really coming down. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but that's what it looks like when you have a pretty good head of water coming in. That's a lot of water, guys. Lots of water. So it's coming in out of this pipe right here. One thing I never explained to you guys, it comes in and it goes down to the first flush system. When those valves over there on the first flush system close up, that water backs up to here, and so it kind of creates just backs up, and the water can't go anywhere other than into the catch tank. So that's how I get the first flush system to work. That's a very important part of the first flush system, is to have this T right here that goes lower out. So all the water that comes in goes out before it goes into the tank. We close up the valves over there, and this backs up with water, and then all the new water coming in just goes right across it and in. And that's what we get right there. Yeah, it's bringing in a lot of water. Beautiful. So if you guys live in a place that gets a lot of rain like we do here in Oklahoma, I'm sure there's other parts of the country that get more rain than we do. So the more rain you get, the larger catch tank you need to acquire. A 550 gallon tank works pretty well here in Oklahoma. So I'd imagine Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, all the Midwestern states would probably surpass with the 500 gallon tank. You know, a 1,000 gallon tank would have probably been a little bit nicer. I don't think it would have ever filled up. Not here in Oklahoma, I've never seen it. fill up and run to the point to where it overflows, 1,000 gallons or an extra 500 gallons. But it could. Mother Nature's pretty unpredictable. Looks like we're slowing down a little bit. So that was a pretty good downpour. The system handled it quite well. Yeah, we're definitely slowing down. I can tell by the rain off of the roof, the noise. So it just kind of shows you how much water comes in and how much that pump can suck out of here running at full speed. Yeah, it's tailed off pretty good. It's still raining reasonable, but more than a drizzle. But it's not downpouring like it was. We just got a special weather alert for our area. Looks like we're going to get flooded. We'll see what happens. Walking down this ladder here. So we just pushed from 15.5 to 16,170 gallons. So we just pushed 700 gallons, 800 gallons. And we still got 396 gallons to go. Really more like 300 more gallons. So I think we'll be doing okay. Well, hi, how are you guys doing? Angela 55. Thanks for coming in and watching. We're getting a little bit of rain. I thought I'd kind of show the system working while it's in a torrential downpour. We had just a little bit ago, it let up a little bit, but I'll go back up and show the yeah, it's just barely coming in now. But it was coming in pretty good there for a minute. I thought we was gonna see a full tank on the catch tank. We did fill up the interior tanks, so they're setting at 97.5%, and the catch tank's being drawn down. Everything's being pushed out to the big tanks out back, the 18,000 gallon tanks. So that's going to water our orchard and our raised beds and keep the fish tank full. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all the water going through the winter. Thank you. We worked on it for quite a while. It's taken about 1.5 years to get this data logger, all the coding to run the entire system, and it's a mess in here right now, but we're gonna put the orchard on automatic waters, and so I've got a lot more I got to do in here, and we'll clean that up and make it look super nice and pretty next year. But again, that's the orchard pump, and that's the raised bed garden, raised bed filter. This system works just pretty much like you'd have city water. You don't have to do anything other than watch it run, make sure it doesn't leak, or backwash the filter and clean the strainer. So I've got gutter guards on my gutters, and this is about all the leaves that will come in on it. They're pretty decent gutter guards. You can get them over at Lowe's. They're about $5 or $6 a piece, and keeps most of the big material out, so we don't have to deal with it in the strainer or in the catch tank. Let's see, we put almost 1,000 gallons in the exterior tank in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We started out at 15,500 gallons, so we're at 16,335, and I've got another 200 gallons left So we'll have pushed 1,000 gallons out there after filling up our main storage tanks. I don't know what this storm's going to give us, but at this point in time, it doesn't matter. We've already watered 45,000 gallons this year. We've probably got another 2 or 3 weeks left in the raised beds, so we've got plenty of water for the rest of the year. And I'm not sure if I'm going to drain it or to hold it through the winter. I don't really like freezing that much water, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get down to the low teens or maybe even 0 degrees. We normally do every year, so I'll probably dump all the water in the exterior tanks into the pond and start over in the spring. Start collecting in February in the exterior tanks. So yeah, it's ran like this for about 1.5 years. No issues. We've been living in it for about 1.5 years with everything just about the way it is with the rainwater catchment system. I've added this pump here and this orchard pump in the last 2 years. So, well, actually, this right here this pump went in this summer, and this pump went in, probably fall of last year. So that's been in about 1 year. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah. It's just moving water, bringing it off the roof, running it through the pump and the filter, doing what it does. I don't see any leaks at all. Yeah, running 30 pounds of pressure. Good. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming and watching. Hopefully I give you some ideas. You can make a rainwater catchment system, all gravity feed. Just use elevation, bring your water in high and let it come through a strainer. And I've seen people put the water in a catch tank and then just let it feed through a sand filter and put the sand filter up a little bit, and at the bottom of the sand filter, it's all gravity fed. You don't even need to use the pumps. We have a lot of stuff we have to water, so I need pressure, so we decided to use the pumps. But gravity feed, you can do that, or you can run pumps. You can run pumps manually. There's so many different ways to do this, and it all works. I like challenges, and I like to figure out things. One of the biggest things is I want to learn how to code that, and I've got a buddy named Kurt Ingram that showed me how to do this. But yeah, as far as gravity, it's the cheapest way to do it. You got to use elevation. So I've seen people use gravity feed through the catch filter, or through the sand filter, and use a small pump with a small catch tank to elevate the water and just put a float valve on it. And so let all the water come into a tank on the ground because your roof isn't very high, and then just pump that water up to a catch tank and let it gravity feed through a sand filter into your storage tanks, and that works too. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do this. This is probably the most efficient way, especially when you use as much water as we do. And like I was telling the other folks, oh, hey, there you go, the candle lady, Angela. Yeah, so like on our raised beds, we use 45,000 gallons this year, and so that's quite a bit of water to process. You ought to come out whenever you get a chance. Come out and see this in real life. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Again, this we'll pull this tank down to about here. We'll stop the pump at 12% because I don't want to introduce air into my pump here. The less air you have, just the better it works. Not that it doesn't push it out anyway, but 17,000 or 17%. Once this gets to 12%, it'll shut down and yeah, it filled the inside tanks up pretty quick today. I think we were at 80% this morning. And so 17% of 10,000 gallons. It pushed 1,700 gallons pretty fast in a half inch of rain or so. Man, it's probably 6/10 of a inch was full. All right, so you're gonna see at 12%. You'll see this light. You'll see that light go out. There it is. Just turn the pump off. So at 12%, we're done. And it'll fill back up. It'll fill back up to 25% roughly, and then it'll turn on and do it all over again. And so, what did we get in there? We got 16,000. So we started this live stream, I think, with 15,000, either 600 or 800 gallons, 15,000. So we just put 1,000 gallons in those exterior tanks after filling up our interior tanks. And we only got like, we started with I believe we started with 1.01 or 1.05 inches of rain here. So now we're at 1.2. So it didn't take very much to get that much. Didn't take very much rain to get that much water off the roof. So that's how it works on a torrential downpour. All right, well, thanks for coming and watching, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll answer those questions as quick as I can get to it. Thanks for coming in tonight. Y'all have a great evening.